Hey, this is Tim Hinton from Marching Arts Education. Now's a great interview with a blind band student from Robstown, Texas.
Yeah, I'm David Hochstetter. To my left here is Charlie Cabrera. He's the head director. And to my right is Marty Velasco. He's our drum set player and all-around percussionist.
Marty has been in the band for how long?
He's been in the band for 6 years ago, for 6 years now, right? He started off as a baritone player, and over some time with the previous director, stuff like that, when we got here, he was not so excited about playing baritone, and he asked me, Mr. Hochstetter, can I try percussion? And I said, sure, Marty, let's go for it. And ever since then, he's just excelled. He really took off with it. So this is definitely his niche. Baritone wasn't his thing.
So why don't you explain to everybody about this special situation here and how you've been able to make it all work so well?
Marty is visually impaired. He's blind. He has a very limited scope of what he can and can't see, but overall he is completely visually impaired. And so what we've done over the last few years to make things work is I've worked a lot of one-on-one with him, and he's really taken it upon himself at home to practice really, really hard, which has been great. And so throughout the process, one of the things that we had to try to figure it out together for a long time of, okay, well, is this going to work? Is that going to work? We tried different things. Some things worked, some things didn't. And eventually what we've done the last couple of years especially is what I'll do is I'll make recordings of myself playing whatever his solo is going to be or whatever his music's going to be, and I'll play it so he can take it home on his phone and he can listen to it, and he mimics what's going on, practices, and then comes back and performs it for us. And it has been a great system, and he's really come from, like I said, a very beginner, no experience, to our featured drum set player this year. I mean, we couldn't get through the show without him. So it's really been an incredible path taken from Marty to get to where he is now.
That's fantastic. So Marty, have you always been musical?
When I was little, I'd say like just a little bit of interest, but as far as like fully, it just wasn't a thing that I haven't developed yet. Like I just really didn't listen to music that much, but the interest was there.
So then why did you decide you wanted to learn percussion?
I guess it was a push like from my mom. She really wanted me to pick up drums and all that. And it was also something that affected me with my the pressures of my eyes. I really couldn't blow into a wind instrument for a prolonged period of time without my eyes starting to hurt. So it was a good switch for me.
That makes perfect sense, and it's very cool that you're so versatile and that you have all these skills and that you're obviously practicing so hard. So what's really interesting is, do I understand that you were doing some marching with your tenor drums? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I would like for somebody on the panel to explain to me how that works, because that is so cool, and I want to know how you made that happen and how you made that work.
Well, once Marty started taking percussion, I push all my percussionists the same. They have to learn how to play mallets. They have to learn how to play timpani. They have to play everything. And Marty had always had the thing, well, I really want to march tenors, sir. I really want to march tenors. And so we thought about it for a while. We tried it one year where we would put like tenor feature up toward the pit, and Marty would hang out and play out with them there, and then they'd go back out. But last year we decided to give it a shot. I talked it out with him, and I talked it out with the tenor line. And what we did is we had 3 tenor players total, including Marty. We put him in the center of the line. So as long as he could hear one of the players to his right and one of the players to his left, he tried to balance himself between the two the whole time. We designed the drill with that in mind, making sure that there wasn't any weird crossovers or pass-throughs or stuff like that. And so it was initially just supposed to be like the opener, but he did so well and he kept on pushing us to support him. We got him in the whole show, and it was a fantastic experience. So he did really good on that.
So Marty, what was that like to be out there marching around with everybody else, of course?
I would say it was like a dream come true. Like, for so long, I wanted to get out there, and it was a little bit tough, like, waiting a little bit, because of course it was a new experience for the directors. But, once I got the news, like saying that they were going to let me march, in my head, I was like, screaming my head off and excited about it. But it was a bit scary at first, but I pushed through and turned out a great season.
Yeah.
We'll be back to talk to Marty and his band directors in the next segment, where we talk about him learning to play drum set and also how he inspired other members of the band.